In the last video, part 1, go and check it out. We talked about everything related to story, lore, Malak, Lucky, and Pig himself. But today we are going to talk about gameplay, skills, abilities, and whatnot. So without wasting any more time, let us begin. As we are aware that chapter 4 will have 3 levels. First one, Torment Therapy by Reaper Nurses and Matron. Second one here, Mascot Mayhem by Joy Gang, Lucky the Rabbit, Hangry the Pig, said it. See, I'm unbiased. And Penny the Chicken, of course. As we're moving towards toughest challenges, toughest monsters, toughest locations, Malak has hidden ring pieces in through the help of beers, powers, and our determination. The thirst for redemption, and let's face it, pure skills. We shall beat Mascot Mayhem and get that important ring piece to solve this Black Magic World's mystery and find our redemption by fulfilling our darkest desires. But enough story and lore shizzle, we already discussed that there are 3 gameplay clips we got that worth our time to really analyze and talk about. The first gameplay clip, we see a soul shard with door opened in zone 2 and what seems to be a pathway connecting zone 2 with the offices area. I'll get to that in just a second, but in the small clip we witness with our own very eyes the pure strength, pure brute force of the pig. As we were about to collect that soul shard, we sensed his presence. The player quickly makes the decision of not collecting the shard, but even more so, play with the pig itself and decides to close the door. As we are aware, many monsters, notably Agatha, can't open doors. She has to teleport to the other side, which gave us a huge advantage there. But here, we are freaked as we witness our demise before our own very eyes as the pig burst through that door, gunning for our bag meat so he can slab it whilst cooking. Yeah. Disgusting image, I know. The player opens the door from where we saw Pig bursting through, and before the pig could start charging at us again, we see Pig in a walking animation. Now this is where I want to mention Vince's Q&A question, where he said that Pig is the slowest of the Joy gang, but also only when he's not charging, and we can see that here. He's incredibly slow when he isn't aware of us. That could play against and for us both, depending on how we play. Those few frames gave us huge lead to defeat him in chapter 4. Just try to stay out of his sight. Right after that, we witness what seems to be part of Mascot Mayhem 3rd zone. On the left side, we can see light. Yeah, ooh, incredible analysis, Mac. But what strikes me is that the lights around this huge Joy Gang logo on the screen shows how massive this area is. Like, I'm talking massive structure. Even if you brighten up the image, you'll see that the most of the place resembles this area from Bad Rabbit gameplay, what seemed to be the ring altar place. And it makes sense too, Zone 3, when we talk about the 3rd zone between huge kitchen area and this, it makes sense to be huge and massive structure. Also, one important detail, Lucky gameplay was all outside. Pig's gameplay is all inside. Why is this detail important? I'll discuss it in just a second, but think about what I'm gonna say. Now we get to my personal favorite moment. I even talked about it in my reaction video. This office area, which connects to zone 2 from previous gameplay, but I addressed the sofas last time too because it shows how giant this structure is from the inside, like we saw from the outside in Bad Rabbit, but here they need a lot of staff to run this place. On the right side you can see 2 portraits. First one belongs to Penny the Chicken, and second one at Lucky the Rabbit. Number 2, the jump scare of Pig himself. This is actually scary. It truly is terrifying. When the pig came close to us, he literally grabbed us, holded us in the air, and then ate us right from the mouth. Literally, that is not fun. It is horrifying, which is why, boys, I'm sticking to my challenge. No thank you, sir. Obviously, this will be one of many jump scares of his. Now we know one of them. Later in the video, we see the same Joy Gang logo with a ring altar alongside a few computers. Now, we know that whenever there's a ring altar, the boss is near. Obviously, Joy killed the boss of Mascot Mayhem has to be in this area. You remember the giant structure with the Joy land and small lights that I talked about earlier? Why was I making a big deal out of it? This is why. Joy kill boss fight could end up happening here, then breaking slowly towards outside where we finally defeat him to escape as the entire Joy line structure falls down into pieces and destroys itself. Of course, we would be responsible, but another Malak's ring piece will be taken away. Then we see zone 3, kitchen area, aka production factory. Here we can see cameras with huge red lights. Finally talking about cameras, ladies and gentlemen. You can see shards just casually floating there, but cameras moving in Zone 3 kitchen area. You gotta understand Zone 3's production factory. It is huge. Kitchen area here is just one of many. I'm still battling how cameras would work. Will they give away our location, make some kind of noise, activate traps, lasers? Still figuring out that one. However, one of the things that you guys mentioned in the comments is that what if the cameras are related to the senses of the pig himself? One of the reasons how he can burst through the doors. Of course, he can't burst through the walls, but he can burst through the doors, which I'll get to in just a second. But then we get a different look in Zone 2. This, ladies and gentlemen, shows pig from behind and two things off the back. Green walls. Let me tell you something. When there's a huge company with bunch of staff in a small location, there's always, and I'm talking always, because I've been in these offices, there's always these green walls. They always paint them green, like, boys, what are you doing? But you can see on the left side computers, desks. Nixon's handprints are all over the place in this. Reminds me so much of Joy of Creation's office. Chairs, computers. So now we know how Zone 2 will look like. Mostly, but secondly, that tail. Goodness gracious, that is an actual thing. This pig has an actual tail. Just when we thought we know everything about this game, we don't. Where the frick this tail came from? What is it doing here? You would think Penny has tail because she's chicken, but no. Let's give this pig one tail too. I mean, we should have seen it coming. It's a pig. What did you expect? Pigs have tails. We see another aspect of pig breaking through the doors. So cool. Regardless of what I say, regardless of how I feel about him, that is a cool ability. So we're freaked. Once the door has been burst through, it's a useless area, just stay away from it. So might as well just collect shards before leaving that area. It's worth the risk, trust me. We see another shot of him bursting through doors. You can see the destruction and strength, the texture it makes after it has been burst through. Pure scurry stuff. This is just one small area, one monster. Now imagine all three members of Joy Joy Gang in all zones. Not to mention this gameplay is pre-alpha. New updated one will be programmed so that these animatronics, these characters works perfectly as they're supposed to. And Joy Kill, boys, I'm passing out. Look at this gameplay. I passed out. We're done, boys. Mascot Mayhem will be the most frustrating level in all of Dark Deception. I can't be bothered to attempt any challenge. I'll leave that one for the pros. I'm just there to play and enjoy and talk about the story. A few weeks later, after the dust gets settled, then we will attempt S-Rank. So yeah, until Chapter 5, we're packed. I said this before, I'll say it again. They should have went with the SFM before anyway. The entire music video for the raps, pure SFM. But I'm more than willing to accept any, if not all, of that good stuff from Glowstick Entertainment. Make sure to let me know how excited you guys are for Dark Deception Chapter 4. And boys, let's not forget Monsters and Mortals coming even more sooner than we thought. Let's do this. 50k, 2K on Twitter, 1K Insta. See boys, all the flip side.